Welcome back to the legal stage. Now, we haven't put things together in character yet, but it's getting pretty clear that this dispute was between Trey and Clara. So right now, we're on the verge of proving that Clara participated in another race that took place before the Ace race with an identical car. And we know that each team uses almost identical cars. There was a crash. A blown wheel was swapped off of Clara's car and left behind. And then, quote-unquote, Clara showed up at the Ace race. No one saw her before that. And then there was some mysterious shenanigans. And they found Clara's dead body. There's also this, which means that it could only have been the King of Spades. Let's work this. Did you actually speak to Clara? Well, oh. If you remember, I wasn't there at the start of the race. I arrived at the mountain when it was partway through. You and I met in the hot dog line. My understanding, no one actually spoke to Clara or saw her walking around. Her car turned up for the race, but that's it. For that to even make sense.
Hold it.
Only if someone actually drove down the track.
Objection.
The Aces drove down the track. And they found her.
Objection.
And they found Clara. Even so, isn't it far-fetched to suggest that between this earlier race and the Ace race that no one found her? That's if this ridiculous theory that she was just left there is more than just hogwash. Possible that Clara could have just been stranded there and no one would have found her. Do you have any evidence which makes this likely? Yes.
Hold it.
Your Honor, while I appreciate that this is distressing for the witness, this point is unnecessary. We are trying to identify the facts of what happened. Agreed. Mr. Gearson, please keep your statements as factual as possible. There must be ways to bring more out of this. Do you have any evidence to refute these sorts of claims?
Objection.
Simple enough. Trey. Yes? You spend a lot of time up at the Rostro Spire area, correct? That's right. I'd say that I'm there most evenings. Do you drive down the Rostro Pass very much? All the time, for racing practice or in actual races. What about outside of races? Perhaps maybe to travel to Rotunda, further to the north? Well, not really, no. Mountain Road is treacherous, especially in winter. No one uses the Rostro Pass just for travel. Gotcha! Your Honor, as Mr. Gearson has admitted, as the court is already aware, the Rostro Pass is disused. It was originally built to be a path to Rotunda in the north. That role has now been replaced by a modern freeway bypass. It takes a tunnel for part of its route. We even know due to Marco West's position on the track that no other vehicles drove down it for the entire evening. Phone reception on the mountain is almost non-existent. Clara and her car really could have been stranded there, undiscovered for several hours. Oh, that's true. No one takes that route anymore. Is that scared? What a twist! Hawk looks like he's about to have kittens. He's quick on the uptake. Part of me thinks that we're stepping through an equation that he's just solved. Order! This is all utter nonsense. The car in the Ace race was Clara's. How do you explain that? This is a fair observation. You feel this is important? Absolutely. Yes, and I believe it's important. Very well. Witness, please add this to your statement.
Hold it.
Again, how do you really know that? Dozens of people saw it. They saw a car, perhaps, but...
Objection.
Aquila, you're going to have to do better than that. What? Observers were people who are well versed in mountain road racing. Seems bizarre to even suggest that there would misidentify a car. Quite. Miss Aquila, we're going to suggest that this car was in fact a different car. Then you'll need evidence of that. If Clara's car at the start of the ace race managed to fool everyone, there must have bore some kind of identifier. It had been something that should cause people to look at it and just say, yeah, that's Clara. Do you know of anything like that? Be something missing from the accident scene. Oh,
Objection!
license plate. Okay, Trey, here's a question. Go ahead. How does a person identify a car? There are many ways. Color, size, make, model, number of doors, engine size. But those things don't identify a car. Many cars are the same color or have similar engines. What identifies a car as a unique vehicle? Let's say the police recover a car that is stolen. How do they reunite the car with its owner? I'm not a policeman. Humor me.
Objection!
Your Honor, the defense is asking the witness to speculate. I'll allow it. But make your point quickly, Miss Aquila. I suppose the police would examine the car's license plate and match that to the records in the DMV. Let it be stated for the record that in this state, vehicles are only required to bear one plate. So, Mr. Gearson, hypothetically speaking, if a vehicle bore the wrong license plate, could it be misidentified? That's absurd. Mix-up would surely only be brief. Absolutely. Fleeting, even. But tell me, let's say that after this earlier race, someone stole the plate from Clara's car and fitted it to a different car. How thoroughly did people inspect Clara's car at the start of the ace race, and for how long? In fact, this suggests a further extension to our theory, because if Clara was stranded further down the mountain after the earlier race, let's go for it. The person who entered the ace race was an imposter. Order! I will have order. I don't believe this. I refuse to believe it. Rostro racers are a group of exceptional individuals. You're suggesting that we could be hoodwinked so easily. No mere imposter could possibly fool the entire Rostro racing community. It does seem somewhat far-fetched, but quite possible given the right supporting evidence. Absolutely. Yes. Very well, witness. Can you please add this to your statement?
Hold it.
You feel that the Rostro racers are immune to being hoodwinked? I do. It's a community of exceptionally skilled people. Nothing gets past us. Oh my god. Oh, I think you're all more easily fooled than you realize. I'm sure I have the evidence to prove it. Are you thinking, uh-huh? We're seriously gonna present, uh-huh? You're absolutely loving this. Uh-huh? Oh boy. Terry? T-bro?
Objection!
Trey, can you just remind the court where we first met? I was in the line for the hot dog vendor up at the Rostro Vista. Why? Those hot dogs, are they good? Have you had them before? Yes, numerous times. Actually, they're fantastic. Surprisingly so. Your Honor, to refute the witness's statement, we would like to present this. A vegan hot dog. What? Those are vegan hot dogs? I'm vegan. I could have been having them all this time? What's happening? Vegan. What does this have to do with anything? Two things, Chad. Firstly, Terry's truck, Scrubs Dogs, has been very popular with the Rostro Spire. In fact, people are saying that they're the best hot dogs they've ever tasted. Here's the kicker. Due to a shipping error, Terry received a shipment of vegan hot dogs by mistake. He's been selling them for weeks, and nobody noticed. But secondly, this is a perfect analogy because Terry's actions follow on from that faulty shipment. Cause and effect. But if that were true, I mean the imposter who entered the ace race, and if they swap the plates, they would need to be driving a very similar car, ideally the same model car. This has all been very entertaining, but enough. I'm not aware of any evidence that there was a duplicate of Clara's car up on the mountain. Without that, this whole line of reasoning crumbles into dust. I too believe we have entertained this flight of fancy for long enough. Sakura, I'm going to have to ask for some evidence that this duplicate car even ever existed. I will be forced to draw proceedings to a close immediately. A duplicate car? Was there a duplicate? Anyone see one? Duplicate car might cause a mild case of deja vu. Deja vu? Like I've just been in this place. Shut up, Dylan. I know what it means. Your Honor, the custodian of the Rostro Vista parking lot, a man named Jasper Frank, told us that he experienced deja vu on the night Clara died, while driving up towards the top of the mountain. He said that the effect was so severe that he was forced to stop for a moment to be sure he wasn't hallucinating. At the time, it didn't make much sense. The time syncs up. How so? Jasper was passed by two identical-looking cars, one after the other. Even if that were true, that only leaves a very short time for the driver of this mystery car to change a tire and the license plates. With basic tools alone, by the roadside in freezing temperatures, and in the dark. He's right. I know. Who could do all those things? Who could drive that well enough for people to briefly think Clara was behind the wheel? Master mechanic who could change a tire and plates in no time with basic tools in the dark. Who could get Clara to come out to the mountain early at all, when she knew she had an important race later. Someone close to her, who no one would ever immediately suspect, but access to another Mitsuyoda AG-88. Surely not. Who raced Clara earlier in the evening? It was you. We've been debating it all this time. It was you. Order! I will have order. Sakura, explain yourself. Who are you accusing? The only person who fits all the evidence. The person who raced Clara earlier that evening was the last person to see her alive. Trey Gearson. Really, would you just say anything to exonerate your clients? I couldn't have been there. I was on a date, if you must know. Oh, really? You couldn't have eaten much if you were buying a hot dog just a bit later. Not that's any of your business. I was very hungry, yet the restaurant only served small portions. I was at the Great Wave. That's a lie. I did the Great Wave very frequently. The night that Clara died was their all-you-can-eat night. Oh, yeah? Yeah! In fact, tell me, Mr. Gearson, in the argument that the Rostro racers are having over sponsorship, Clara was totally against it. What side were you on? Fine. I will admit, as I can see that it is pointless to argue further. I did race Clara earlier in the evening. So you admit? Let me finish. Some time ago, I became aware that Clara intended to refuse corporate sponsorship for the Rostro Racers. And if you must know, I hated her for it. She was fine sitting down at the top of her ivory tower with her inherited wealth, while the rest of us fought around in the dirt for table scraps. I built Gearson & Co. Not figuratively, I literally laid the bricks on some of the buildings. She talked of romantic ideals of independence, but the rest of us live in the real world. Those days she talked about are coming to an end, and I wanted our racing family to persist. So you resolved this the only way you could, by challenging Clara to a race. That's right. I sent a message to Clara's phone earlier in the day. Message Clara received while eating with Ryoko. Then when I dropped off Clara's car by a tow bar. We got into our cars and headed up to the Rostro Vista. Once we were there, we started racing. Is he seriously about to admit to? Watch out, I think this will get worse before it gets better. But Clara eluded me. Eluded you, Mr. Gearson? I said earlier that Clara was the preeminent racer, and I was being truthful. Before we'd even got halfway down the track, I had lost sight of her. Just so far ahead, it felt pointless to even continue the race. I pulled over and came to a stop. This business with the other wheel, the license plate, may have happened in a manner. It may have happened in a manner similar to your deductions. I didn't see it. Well, seems a bit convenient, but okay. What did you do? Took some time to reflect on how things had gone, of course. By the time I pulled myself together, quite some time had passed. I'm unsure of exactly how much. I set off at the top of the mountain. By the time I got there, Clara had returned and started the ace race. Why did you lie about being at the Great Wave? I was embarrassed. You think I like admitting that I was beaten so soundly? I do have pride, you know. So you see, Miss Aquila, no need for wheels or duplicate cars. Perjury, perhaps, and we'll deal with that later. And your motive is weak, if you're seriously implying that the witness killed Clara Mass. It's not dissimilar, in fact, to Hank's proposed motive, which we already dismissed as weak when stood alone. Even if Mr. Gearson did race Clara earlier in the evening, that is no proof that the witness was involved with Clara's death. Occam's razor suggests it is simpler to assume that Clara died in the ace race. All these other points are just mysteries you're dredging up to try and obscure your client's guilt. On that note, prosecution rests. If only there was something which connected Trey to the scene. The tire. I know. That's not direct evidence. It supports another piece of evidence, but on its own it's not absolute proof. Sakla, do you have any final remarks before I pass judgment? If we had proof with these acts of perjury, that would probably end this here and now. What could possibly connect Trey to the scene like that? Sakala! Moment, Your Honor. Okay, Nina. Time to make the impossible possible. Conference, quick. Okay. Start with the assumption that Clara went up the mountain with Trey. They passed Jasper on their way up and arrived at the top of the mountain pass. They started racing. The earlier race. A race that they didn't finish. Trey says Clara got away from him. Let's assume he wasn't telling the truth and see where we end up. What if? What if Trey and Clara had an accident and Clara was killed? Trey would have panicked. I mean, look what has happened with our clients. Street racing's dangerous and illegal, so you'd have to assume the worst in his shoes. Yeah, it probably wasn't his intention. Probably just wanted to beat her. But for our purposes, I guess it doesn't matter all that much. Picture it. Trey and Clara don't collide, but they get close. Clara skids off the road when it's all over. Clara is dead. Grim. Trey's car must have been part of the accident. How'd you figure? It's business over the wheels. Like the evidence suggests that a wheel was exchanged. You don't just do that for fun. After the accident, one of the cars must have been good, save for a broken wheel, while the other one was the wreck that we saw at the crash site. After all, one of the cars later took part in the ace race. Couldn't have been too damaged. Right, good point. Trey must have assumed that he could implicate the aces if he impersonated Clara in the race. We'll get to the ace race in a bit. Let's keep at this earlier race first. Maybe after the wheel. It could have been removed when he Ooh, the license plate. Kinda ingenious. He needed a disguise. A disguise, huh? Even if they take their master's hat. Or their master's cloak. What is it? I'm improvising. Dylan, I've got an idea. It's gonna sound crazy, but stick with me. To the end. But what is it? If Trey really did enter the ace race as an imposter, what car did he use? Well, yeah, Miss Yoda AG88. That's the million-dollar question, though. Which one? Mind running that by me one more time? So far, we assume that Trey put Clara's plate on his car and used that in the ace race. Why did we assume that? I don't know. Seemed a fair thing to assume. I mean, they're near identical, so why would you switch cars? You wouldn't, if you had a choice. Just now you said that both cars had to have been involved in the accident. But Trey would have had no reason to change a wheel. Would have just taken the remaining pristine car and maybe swapped the license plate. I think I'm starting to get it. When he saw the car at the scene of the accident, it was pretty banged up. No one was going to be able to drive that car away. You'd need a tow truck. Trey had to take the working car. What if that car was Clara's? But Clara died in the accident. Wouldn't the more damaged car naturally be hers? That's another assumption. Remember, Clara died due to one single head trauma. It could have just been bad luck. People sometimes end up paralyzed from prangs and fender benders. So you're saying that Trey moved Clara's body into his car, which was badly damaged, and took her keys, left his in the car to be found with Clara's body. And he fixed the only thing on Clara's car, a single busted wheel. A real wheel, even, so that's where the mysterious other wheel came from. When forensics have found Trey's prints all over the car, built those cars and maintained them regularly, his prints, hair, dead skin, all the Spade's cars will be covered with them. Please have the car in which Clara was found over at their impound. So are you seriously saying, if this works, then that car at the impound isn't actually Clara's car after all? Oh yeah, it's Trey's car. The impound is all the way across town. How are we going to prove it's really Trey's car? Even if we had the time, how would we do that? We need a foolproof way to identify a specific car. Something practically unique. Something Trey doesn't know about and couldn't tamper with. Miss Aquila, I feel I've been generous enough. Your final remarks, please. They will be brief, Your Honor. Anya would never have done this, but that doesn't matter. My style is good enough, and I'm going to prove it. Your Honor, the defense asserts that Trey Gearson was in fact present when Clara Mass died. This happened during the earlier race. Here we go again. Ah, don't be ridiculous. You can't possibly prove anything of the sort. I believe that Mr. Gearson was forced to change a wheel by the accident and waited somewhere out of sight, before heading up to the top of the mountain via the side road to impersonate Clara in the ace race.
Objection.
Still begging this drum. Okay, Aquila. Can you present even one piece of evidence that could suggest that Trey was at the scene when Clara crashed? I can. What? You see, Hawk, what's more important is what Mr. Gearson took away from the scene. Because I believe... Wait. Mr. Gearson was forced to switch cars by the events of the accident. This is what led to the strange facts of the missing license plate and mysterious extra wheel. Hang on now. But if that were true, that would mean that the car in which Clara was found was actually Mr. Gearson's car. More than that, Your Honor. Deep breaths, Nina. You've got this. Mr. Gearson? how did you arrive at this courtroom today? I drove here. Wonderful. Your Mitsuyota AG88 is parked just outside, right? That's right. Perfect. Thank you, Ryoko. I was given these by a friend. They're Clara's spare car keys. I think if I hold my arm high enough and get the angle on the remote just right. Bingo. Mr. Gearson? Why, you. This isn't the best part of town. Would you care to use the keys in your possession to lock it again? Uh-oh. Did he just seriously just run out of my courtroom? Mr. Hawk, what is the meaning of this? Don't look at me. He's a witness. He wouldn't expect he would suddenly become a suspect. This is great. It is? Of course. This totally undermines Hawk's case. True. Isn't he driving away on our critical piece of evidence? Uh-oh. Chad! What? Don't just stand there. Call the police! We can't, but he's driving a high-performance racing car. You really think they're going to be able to catch him? Uh-oh. Oh, do we have a final boss? Ah! Can't end like this. Your Honor. Yes? Deputize me. Right now. Why? Figure it out! Oh my god, here we go. Trey! What the? You're not getting away. Beat it, lawyer. Nina, you okay? I'm following Trey. He's trying to escape from the city. If I can catch him, we can end this. Oh my god, here we go. Final boss. Oh shit.
Hold it.
Oh shit, alright. Trey, where are you going? You can't just run away. Don't need to run forever. Just need to cross the front line north of Rotunda. North of... That's a war zone! Trey, if you just stop, we can work something out. Forget it. Shit. Not bad for a lawyer. Mr. Frank? What are you here for, you old kook? To help catch you, of course. I was racing you when your mom was still bathing your ears with her tongue, you whippersnapper. As if you could. Nina, listen closely. Trey's car turned very specifically for the Rostro downhill course. Tuned very specifically, rather. But not for distance driving. You can keep up the pressure. Great thinking, Jasper. So what do we do? Just try to catch him. Don't let up. Okay, this is more like a story fight, but okay. I'll take it. Trey, this is lunacy! What was I supposed to do? You saw the court was going to strike down the aces. Then it really was an accident. Yes! Truly? I didn't want to kill Clara. She was my friend. And why this whole runaround? Why not tell the truth from the start? Be serious. But when I realized she was dead, the whole thing flashed before my eyes like some kind of macabre play. There were no witnesses, no evidence to support me. I even had a motive. My business, my life, was all going to be torn apart. But sending your friends to prison? On a suspicion. If there was no evidence, I knew it wouldn't stand up to appeal. They had nothing to lose, and I had so much more. That sounds like a convenient rationalization when you're not the one being sent behind bars. It wasn't a perfect plan. What do you want from me? I want you to turn around and come back to Fledge City with me. Forget it. Oh shit. Alright. I got cocky. Keep going, Nina. Oh shit, Detective Flatfoot! In the Force's fastest car. Can you stop him? Pah, not a chance. This isn't you, Trey. You've forgotten yourself. No one could run for the truth that lies in the heart of the drift. The what? It's a thing, Detective. Trust me. Just go with it. Oh shit, alright. Put together all of our skills. We got this, Nina. Alright, here we go. Let's do it. We got two cars drafting off of us now. Trey, stop this at once. I'm never going to hold it. Shut it, you fossil. I can hold it. I built this car with my own two hands. Was that his radiator? Trey, if you keep going, you're just gonna get killed. Are you really that prideful that you'd run your car until it explodes with you still inside? I can make it. Nothing can stop me. You'll never. Trey! No answer. You could be unconscious. So just have to. Trey! Where? What? Are you hurt? You just saved me. Forget that! Are you hurt? Can you feel your fingers, your toes? Yes, I can. Think I'm okay. Here comes Flatfoot. Gonna get one chance at this. Trey, this is very important. Who is your sponsor? The woman you met at the parking lot. Who is she? I don't know. What? How can you... They approached me before Clara died and said that they wanted me to try and beat her and win the ace race. Like Hank and the others, it was just from an anonymous email address. But Clara knew. You're sure? Certain. Did she say anything to you? Anything at all? No. The only thing I can say is this. The sponsor first emailed us. Everyone was wondering how much money, what the terms would be, how it would affect us. Clara was trying to answer an altogether different question. Why? Why? Why what? Why us? Why now? Why everything? I think she was worried because she didn't get a proper answer. No. I think she was worried. Because she did. Oh. That's scary. That's scary. But why do you care? What's it to you? Nina? I'll take it from here. There he goes. Enjoy Florida, Jasper. Mr. Gearson? You have the right to remain silent. I'm placing you under arrest on the suspicion of the murder of Clara Mass. Oh, here we go. We're back. Today's events have certainly been fast and furious. But Mr. Hawk? Yes? Has Mr. Gearson been taken into custody? Yes, Your Honor. Suck it, Chad. City will arrange to try him at a later date. We need to work up specific charges, but I'm expecting that we will have some very difficult questions to answer concerning the death of Clara Mass. Your Honor, if I may, speak on Trey's behalf. I believe that Clara's death really was an accident. Tried to implicate us, Ren. We almost took the fall. I just don't believe that Trey went up to the mountain that night with the intent to murder her. He strongly disagreed with her, yes. They really were friends. If her death really was an accident, Trey must have just panicked. And besides, that'd be separate. I feel like him framing you guys for the murder would be a separate charge than the death of Clara. And not a reason to put him behind bars for murder one. I just ask that you think of his actions as those of a desperate man as opposed to a murderer. I had no idea that Ren was so, I don't know, chill, good-hearted. Noted, Mr. Benson. However, that brings us to an odd question. I still don't understand what happened during the actual ace race. Ditto. It's really very confusing. Thought Clara passed us. I think. No, I'm also at a loss. I can explain that, I think. It's actually very simple. All three of you actually noticed something about Clara during the race. Something that retrospectively makes sense. I guess she was driving a little weirdly. Suspected all along. Oh, buzz off, Keisuke. You were as in the dark as the rest of us. Aha. Damn, Jocelyn. When all four of you started the ace race, the real Claire was sitting in Trey's car further down the course. Trey hung back, and at the right moment, turned off his headlights. At that moment, Jocelyn struck something. Can't quite prove this, but I believe it was the real wheel that Ren brought into the courtroom earlier today. Then all Trey had to do was take the side road and speed back to the top of the course. You three carried on. When you found Clara, you assumed that she had somehow passed you and crashed. For us, sitting here in this courtroom, it seems almost nonsensical. But in your collective heightened state, awash with adrenaline, it was the only sensible explanation. So naturally, you all believed it. Discussing it amongst yourselves, before Ryoko and Trey turned up, made it real, at least for you. I can hardly believe it. Trey turned up with Ryoko. He looks in the eye, knowing that we were going to take the fall. He was utterly convincing. It does kind of prove something, though. What? Things really aren't always what they appear to be. People can fake many things, but style will always reveal who someone really is. Style. Let's file that as one for later. See Trey next, style. Speak for yourself. Even after all this, I'm not angry. kind of feel sorry for him. On that note, Your Honor, the defense rests. Very good, Miss Aquila. Mr. Hawk, do you have anything to add? Only one thing. Surely he hasn't got. Not bad, Miss Aquila. You want to congratulate Dylan, too? Don't push your luck. Very well. Miss Aquila has, through inference, all but proven that Clara died long before the defendants were close by. Therefore, on all charges, find the defendants not guilty. Hey! The aces said we should meet them over by the Great Wave. We'll head straight there? And a bit. Before we do that, can we stop in at the office? Sure. What's going on here? The aces were headed straight to the restaurant, Nina. What are we doing back here? I had an idea during the trial. This'll only take a minute. You sure? Oh no. Imposter on ya? If it doesn't, this will be the last time I watch this security footage. Alright, what do we got? What was it that Case said? Things really aren't always what they appear to be. People can fake many things. But style will always reveal who someone really is. There. What is it? What do you see? Look. Get it, it's just a guy wearing a baseball cap. That's right. But it's a matter of style. He's wearing it the wrong way round. Oh. Well, the prior footage, the janitor wore his cap backwards, but this guy's wearing his forwards. Oh shit, yeah. Here's a comparison. Whoa, you're right. I never noticed it before. And it's easy to ignore. And forwards guy has a scar on his cheek. Could have just turned it around, though. Maybe, but let's watch him a bit more. That's it. It's like a smudge. More than a smudge. It's a facial scar. The janitor have a facial scar? You must have met him during Anya's trial, right? No, he doesn't. What does that mean? Simple. That man, whoever he was an imposter. And we have to go see Chad Hawk's boss, and right away. What is it, Nina? Surely this is the break in the case we've been waiting for. It is. Much as I hate to admit it, this is a lead, but not real evidence. If we go off half-cocked, we might lose our chance to convince the DA to open up an appeal. We need to search for definitive evidence. Oh. I was all fired up. Don't douse yourself yet. Huh? This is just the start. A lead is something we can unravel until we run out of thread. So are we still going out for food with the aces? Sounds good. We're not going to find more clues about this when it's late at night, and we're exhausted from another case. Let's head out. Great, come meet me by the door when you're ready. Oh yeah. Let's go. Okay, boss. Kanpai! Great Wave Sushi Restaurant, January 11th, 7:41 p.m. You guys see any tuna yet? No, but I see plenty of salmon. Maybe you could order some. Fish makes me nauseous. Got. And why did you agree to come? Oh, Marco. I was outvoted. Wanted to go to the steakhouse downtown. There'll be something you can eat. So I just saw a cheeseburger patch just a few minutes ago. I might go for one of those myself. Cheeseburger at the sushi place? Seriously? This is a nice sushi place. Looks like a curry. Plate of curry there. There's a teddy bear. What? I like cheeseburgers. Now that we're all here. Nina? I think I speak for everyone here when I say that. Simply can't thank you enough. That's right. No one else had any idea about Trey's actions. How did you even figure it all out? For starters, it was a group effort. You should be thanking Dylan and Ren as much as I. Plus, we had some help at the last minute, without which things would have gone differently. Help? From who? Jasper Frank. He turned up at our office late at night. That old kook? He totally hates us. It was weird. Always skulking around, picking up trash, telling us to park better, giving us aggro. Seems weird he'd even get involved. Wonder why Jasper decided to help. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he knows anything about tow junk and racing. Oh, I'm not so sure. What? Seriously? Years. Literally years, and he never said a word. From what I understand, the 1981 incident brought mountain racing into disrepute, and almost ended it once and for all. Plus Jasper, if he is responsible, lost a close friend, a rival ace. Can't be totally certain, but I'd make a career out of connecting up the dots. Jasper said that Clara knew him, and I think that this is what he meant. So you're saying Jasper Frank was the very first Joker? Hey, that would do it. Well, I'm starving. Wait up, I got a few questions myself. Firstly, who is the Joker now? Did you guys figure it out? I decided it should be Hank. It seems sensible. Oh, shucks, guys. Hank is a vision for how we're going to move forward as a family. So you're accepting the sponsorship? Not right away. Clara obviously had some personal beef with the sponsor, whoever they are. Doing something like that is important for securing the Rostro Racer's future. I don't know what form it's going to take. My goal is to see us form a professional racing team. Some form of sponsorship is going to be involved in that. Wish you guys the best of luck. Hi. Pull up a chair, Ryoko. Ryoko? Oof, awkward. You gonna eat with us, Ryoko? No. Just wanted to... Oh, come on, Ryoko. Have something to eat with us. Sorry, but I'm not quite there yet. It's okay, Ryoko. We respect that. But I'm happy that everything worked out. Just wanted to let you guys know that. Do you want Clara's keys back? No, there's no need. They're just the keys to a car that never belonged to me. You keep them. Maybe they'll bring you luck? Eh? Guys, Clara's funeral is the day after tomorrow, and afterwards, I'm gonna head out of town for a few weeks. But I'll be back. Actually, we had something we wanted to talk to you about. Keisuke, you want to tell her? Oh, it's not my place. You should, Hank. Okay. You want to be the new ace? You want to be the new ace of spades? Ryoko, when you come back, I'd like you to do so. As the new ace of spades. How about it? Wow. I don't know what to say. Oh, you deserve it. Come on. Say yes. I guess I could give you guys a run for your money. That's the spirit. Enough talk, I'm starving. Food first, then lucky voice. Lucky voice? It's a karaoke bar. With an all-you-can drink policy. That seems like a bad idea. Sounds like my kind of party. I think I'll pass. I've got some attorney stuff to take care of to wrap everything up. Oh, then you should go with them, Dylan. You sure? You okay? It's fine, really. Sure. I'll do karaoke with you guys. Be warned, I can't sing. None of us can. May have dodged a bullet there. Have a great time, guys. Ooh, that gives me an idea. Yoko, darling, before you leave. Hank, you scooch in there. Hank, get your elbow out of my... That's Joker Hank to you. Ooh, boy. Jocelyn, crouch down a bit. Like this? Okay. Say, California rolls. Aww. Another photo of friendship. That is sweet. Now what are we doing? We want to figure out who the sponsor is. And how Clara knew them. Nina, stay here, okay? Oh. Why? What? I'll be right back. Don't go. Stay with her, okay? What is this? It's there in the back of her mind. Hmm? She was standing right there. Maybe if I'm able to see that spot again where she was standing. It's a long shot, but I need to know. No. My legs feel like jelly. My heart is beating out a drum solo. Why am I breaking out in a cold sweat just trying to remember who she is? I came all the way up here. I'm not just gonna turn around and go home. Deep breath. Who are you? I don't even know you, but I can picture you in my head with perfect clarity. Better than Dylan. Better than Anya. I remember. Years ago. You looked right into my eyes and... That's... eyes, plural? That's it. How? How could I have forgotten? Maybe I just didn't want to remember. She was there on that day, when everything changed. When she was the last person I ever saw. Out of my right eye? The very last thing I ever saw. Whoa! With both eyes. Oh, damn. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a really cool picture. Next time on Nina Aquila, Legal Eagle. Stop, foul beast. Evil will never take root in this world. The powers of the sacred feather, I will punish you. Valkyrie, transform. Magical girl leap. Cut. Was that okay? Fantastic, Milia. As always. I need to lay it on too thick, Sarah. It's just a location test. I'm serious. You're a natural. You nailed every single take. This show's gonna be awesome. You can see it. Valkyrie's sacred feather sweeps the awards. How'd you get so good, anyhow? Practice, I guess. And this place. Was this location for the fight scenes really your idea? Is it that they wanted somewhere industrial and remote, so it seemed like a good fit? It's great. So grimy and drab. You make the bright colors of your final costume really pop by comparison. Sarah, are we good? Yeah, I think we have everything we need for today. All I wanted was some footage of Amelia and the location to compare to the other sites we've auditioned. I think we've got that and then some. You want to ride back? It's okay, I've got my motorbike ready. See you Monday morning? Looking forward to it, and safe trip home. You too. Okay, we're out. Let's pack up. It's still around here. I can sense it. Show yourself. What? Foolish Valkyrie. The city will kneel at the feet of the great Malfara. Not today. The powers of the sacred feather. Valkyrie. Oh my god. Transform! Let's rumble dog breath. Oh my god. Okay, I'm down for a magical girl anime now. Hey Anya! We're shooting in 5 minutes. Oh, so they do need me after all. Anya, we talked about this. Not going to have lines every single episode. Easy for you to say. The whole show's named after you. Do I smell liquor? You've been drinking? Or just some tequila? Oh yeah, no big deal. You want some? Yes. We gotta keep wearing this hand-me-down bunny girl outfit. The director wants to get this party started. Our party started about an hour ago. Goggle boy. Is she? A little. Then are you? Not as much. The show must go on, though, am I right? Aquila Channel. Hello. Welcome to Aquila Channel, a special viewer-facing segment where we talk to you, the viewer, player. Today's chapter was themed around several things, most notably the street racing, manga, and anime genre. Attentive fans of these shows will doubtless have noticed some of the similarities. Even the cars present in-game and some of the properties attributed to them are the parodies of real world-class cars. The design of Nina's car was an extra special reference. Did you spot it? Chapter 3's twist was inspired by the 4th stage of Initial D. Really? In that show, there's a scene where the character encounters a mysterious car with darkened windows, with an oddly familiar driving style. Hashtag no spoilers. The point was that a car could also be a disguise, and this seemed like a cool idea to build upon. Yeah, it was. However, if we knew that if we were going to take on the illegal street racing genre, we need to allow the player to actually race. The version in the final game is actually the 3rd prototype of the racing system, the end of a process which, on its own, took around 3 months to develop. Wow. This was inspired in concept by Tactics Formula, a Japanese exclusive game for the Sega Saturn, in which racing is handled in RPG-like turns. Though nowadays Toujanken racing took this in a very different direction. Of course, Touj is not racing is actually a real thing, not just something seen in anime. Though in animated form, it tends to be depicted like in sports anime. And like any sports anime, it's heavily dramatized. Touj, or Toge, means pass, as in mountain pass, and has its roots in illegal mountain road racing. Due to the success of Initial D, this is a strong association with the mountain roads of Gunma-ken, in the Kanto region of Japan, particularly the town of Haruna, which has been part of nearby Takasaki since 2006. Initially, we wanted a story where Nina, having found some confidence in Chapter 2, would find strength in her own unique style, both in and out of the car. Wait. As a lawyer, should Nina have really been engaging in illegal street racing? Probably best not to overthink it. Chapter 3's story drew out on all of these elements. Touj racing anime, using a car as a disguise, and the desire to find faith in one's own unique style. Of course, these are just the main threads of the plot. A lot of other stuff was packed in there too. Okay, so that's Chapter 3 out of the way. On to news. First, I want to thank all of our followers, friends, and supporters. In particular, we'd like to thank the members of the Nale Discord. If you want to join the Discord, you can find the link in the gamesitch.io page. Nale also now has its own Twitter page. There's a link over on the game's title screen. Oh, I didn't actually know that. I should probably tag that too when I post these videos. We're going to be hosting more giveaways via Twitter, so make sure to follow up if you're a fan. The Nale TeePublic store has a wide range of merch, including hoodies and mugs. Sales of merch are funneled directly into paying for more CGs, sprite art, and other features of future chapters. That's cool! And this is the biggie. I want to welcome Rachel Messer, who is now Nina's voice actor. Rachel comes to Now Life from an extensive background in anime and video game voice acting. Wow. Now it's time for us to sign up, but before we go, remember, after playing this game, please consider leaving a review on itch.io. A review can be just a star rating, but it makes an enormous difference to how many people try out the game. It takes seconds, but it's one of the most helpful things that fans can do to support an indie game. And as always, tell your friends! Chapter 4 is going to be a magical adventure with mystery, secret identities, intrigue, and magical girls. If you like this third chapter of Nina Aquila, Legal Eagle, Follow for more news about Chapter 4, Sacred Feathers. Hey, Anya, hey, you okay? Look, I know you didn't get any lines this time around, but in the next chapter, upon reflection, I think it's going to be fun. Can't wait to see you in a skimpy magical girl getup. Magical girl's going to be the defendant. The victim? The details are kind of fluid right now. Yeah, well, in Chapter 3, the victim was a street racer. How did that work out? These thighs. Bring it on. How skimpy are we talking? Who says she's the only one, Dylan? I'll be in the gym. Oh my god, that was fun. Good old Chad. Oh, that was lovely. I think, like I said earlier on, when this final trial was just getting going, this is easily my favorite case in terms of mystery. The mystery in this, the crime, was really well done, I thought. Just in terms of layering, building the mystery through the days. Even if the second day kind of felt like it didn't accomplish, the second trial day kind of felt like it didn't accomplish much, but it did just enough to move us into the direction that we needed to go. Like, it did a lot of... Really enjoyed how it just kind of gave us all these elements for us to think about. And it didn't give us the obvious answers to piece everything together. It fed us just enough to put things together as the case went along. And that's always deep, I feel like that's always a good part of a mystery like this, where you're given enough facts that you can formulate the theory, but you're not given enough to be able to say definitively, this is how it happened. Like, plausible facts are given out in plentiful fashion, but the critical facts that bind them together are held back just enough to make the whole journey to solving this case compelling and interesting. I really enjoyed that. Between the racing, the characters, the development of the overall plot with Anya, and the mystery, I've really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. Anyway, until the sacred feathers come along, we leave the legal stage once again. Remember to believe in the heart of the drift. Until next time. Until then.